of shiny helmets, spandex jumpsuits, and strange monsters. These heroes force feed you a bowl of awesome that is the Tokudon Podcast. Join Carl, Josh, and Rob as they haphazardly welcome you to the exciting genre of tokusatsu. Now, open wide.
I'm not going to stream this one just because I don't feel like setting all that nonsense up right now.
Also, you don't want to infest people with visions of this cartoon.
Yeah. I'm good.
You're being a hero. You're not being
I'm being
lazy.
a writer is what's happening.
It's
I have a technically
admirable.
comic writer status.
You're a damn hero, bro.
Yes. That's how we do. Yeah, so let's get into this. God, my head itches. Yeah, welcome to Tokudon. Yay.
Welcome. Yay.
Yay.
Last week was a shit show. So we just, Nope. So we're doing our discussion episode. This is episode 11, I believe.
Yes, it is.
We're kind of doing a weird mix of both because the series we were supposed to review, Voltron Force, is absolute hot garbage.
Stop complimenting it.
I know. It's an insult to hot garbage. I am sorry, hot garbage. So we are going to kind of do like a review and discussion all in one and just kind of see where the episode goes because I don't know if we could really talk about this show for an hour and a half because it's really bad.
Well, I mean, we could, but it won't be fun.
It'll just be repeating for hours.
Maybe we could sue for psychological trauma.
I feel I'm owed something. I made it the most out of everybody, so yeah.
I want to make
definitely.
it farther, but we ran out of time.
Full disclosure, I didn't watch it because I had already watched it when it first came out. And I was very disgusted from that.
Oh,
So he's gonna give us the post-traumatic stress version of it.
so yeah, I'm gonna give. We all have like an associated like mental disease that is, came with the show. We'll get into that. But first, let's do what we've been up to since it's been a little while. If one of you guys wants to start us out.
Well, I've not been doing much. I've been actually watching Supergirl on Netflix because I figure why not?
The show. Okay, I was like, what is Supergirl?
Yeah.
That's right.
I forgot who they cast as Supergirl.
Oh, I don't know actors' names.
Some young lady. I don't know.
Random blood number 7.
Yep. Does it actually get better after the first season? Because I heard the first season was rough.
It's not too bad, but it has the same kind of issues I feel like Flash has, where the villain is always a Flash or a speedster, where this one is like, well, whoever fights against Supergirl has to be practically equal to Supergirl.
Yeah.
Which is, a legitimate problem.
Yeah. When you're the strongest in the universe, I guess you kind of have to be the strongest in the universe to even like pose a slight dramatic problem.
Now, this is just a guess. Does she even have her own villains, or does she kind of mooch off of Soup's?
She takes like some minor, like B-list villains from Superman, but I guess they're kind of her own. Like there's a Livewire, who I think is actually a Superman villain, but no one actually gives to about her, so they're like, oh, it's Supergirl. And so I don't know how much you know about the Superman mythology, but apparently there's another planet that circled the red sun right next to Krypton, and they just happen to have almost the exact same powers, except they're not. They have kryptonite does nothing to them, but they are very allergic to lead, which means bullets work fantastic on them.
Wow. Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
Bullets, my only weakness.
I'm only super when I'm strong. Oh, Lord. That sounds awful.
Like, there's like a whole bunch more of them, but they don't fly. They're just like super strong, and kind of fast, but they're not as super strong or as super fast as the Kryptonian is.
So they're like diet Kryptonians.
So they're like
Yeah.
the super CrossFitters. That's basically what they are. Okay, that is wow.
But they're more like the original Superman, so they like can jump over tall buildings. And you're like, oh, that's really impressive. Since once you're in the air, you're kind of stuck in that motion. I think Superman could still kick your ass.
Well, it's okay.
Okay.
They're all like non-green Hulks is what it is.
Gotcha.
I mean, I'm just trying to see what the point was. Like, why?
They have it's
Yeah.
basically racism. It's basically racism
Okay.
because the Kryptonians and this Daxam or whatever they're called, they just don't get along, and they both think really badly of each other. But when the Daxams talk about the Kryptonians, you're like, is that really a bad thing? They're intelligent. I mean, they talk about basically they think they're holier than thou type people, but they're like, oh, well, you're smart and you have science, so screw you. Like
An entire civilization.
Oh, wow.
Of Karens. Got it.
yeah.
Wow.
So-
that sounds terrible.
It really does. But okay.
I was just absorbing all that. I was like, wow, this is oof.
Well,
Oh man. So,
Yeah.
but is it a decent show though? Like I saw that Martian Manhunter shows up at one point.
Oh, he's a regular.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Can't remember that.
But they go from like proxy racism between these two alien races to actual racism. Oh yeah, I'm a black guy.
Oh.
By the way, racism still exists, and I'm black. Like, okay, wow, I feel like you went in the wrong order here. Usually, we're going to deal with our own racism and then see the planetary racism. But no,
Nah.
we're going to see planetary racism before we get to the coloring racism.
We just go straight for the jugular. That's really all it is.
Shock Vector. How are they ramping up the? I'm assuming this is the Supergirl CW thing, right?
Yeah.
So are they like? I don't know. I've never watched any of those shows, but the Crisis on Infinite Earth, is that going to be like one thing or like a mini series?
It's like a crossover event between the multiple series. So you have to watch like an episode from this series, another episode from another series.
Oh.
Yeah. It's kind of obnoxious actually, unless you're watching it like on normal TV. Like if you're watching on Netflix, like I do. Is that here watching Josh Netflix?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
like if you're watching like all of it, binging one season at a time of each show, it's kind of obnoxious because you see like a third of whatever's happening. And it's like, oh, it's like I was watching
one
Flash,
random episode.
yeah. And it was like the random one where they go to like the alternate Earth where like Supergirl's super evil and it's like Russia took over and all this and the communists, and I was just like, oh, this could be cool, and then it was over and I was like, oh, I guess that's it. Okay.
Okay.
It's very clearly set up to be like on TV sort of thing when they do that kind of stuff.
Well, also another problem is like there's no real setup to it before it happens.
Yeah.
It's like this one episode is devoted to this crossover thing, and you're like, there's no build up. What the fuck just happened?
It's usually
Where the hell is
shoehorned
my
in.
story? And then it continues the story afterwards. Like,
Yeah, it's usually pretty shoehorned in there to like what's going on in the major problem, where it's like, oh, we're waiting for. Usually, it's some kind of line of like, oh, the satellites are still searching for X and Y, and then all of a sudden, the MacGuffin happens that throws them all together. So,
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually still really enjoy Flash, though. I'm not gonna lie. I just finished. I think it's up to the 5th season on Netflix, unless they just added a new one.
well, I kind of fell off of both Arrow and Flash. When
Arrow's bad now. That's why it's the first one got canceled.
But
Oh.
like when they were starting to do we're setting up for Legends of Tomorrow.
Mhm.
Is that what?
Yeah.
And it was just like, okay, we're going to make this female character really, really stupid.
Yeah.
Incredibly stupid, just so we can bring back this other character. I was like, I feel insulted for this woman to actually have to read these lines
Yeah.
because of how dumb it is making this character.
The sister that like ends up like leading the team.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah.
No, not her.
The
Her
other-
sister.
Her sister, gotcha. Black
Yeah.
Canary that's not Black Canary until she dies.
Yes. Well, she's not even Black Canary until she comes from another reality, and then
that's
she
what I
all
mean,
of a sudden, oh yeah, hey, she can actually scream. Except for like one time randomly in the TV show, she
had
screams.
like a voice box or something, but like the one from the alternate world actually has like the mutant power thing. It's I don't know. Like I said, Flash is really the only one I watch anymore, and yeah, it is a lot of like, oh, here's another speedster problem. Okay,
It's always a speedster. It's always a speedster.
It's
Oh,
literally
yeah.
baddie of the week until we get to the big speedster problem.
He has no legitimate problem in any other form other than a fucking speedster.
But the speedsters they've picked, I'm not gonna lie, are pretty cool. Like you got Zoom, was pretty like terrifying. He was real scary.
But what are their powers are the same though, bro. The
I
same.
know. I'm not saying they're not. I'm not arguing that one bit at all.
but they're faster.
But yeah, usually like
Sonic.
Zoom's whole thing was like he was absorbing the powers of other speedsters, so he was literally murdering speedsters across the different like alternate planet realms, whatever. So he was just getting faster and faster and faster. It was kind of cool. I don't know. And then other than that, it's like you get the big dumb like super CG episodes where you have King Shark fighting Gorilla Grodd, which is an intense episode because it's just 15 minutes of just straight CG.
The one that lost me for Flash was the robot metal armor Flash.
Savitar. Yeah, it's the third season.
Savitar. It's like, yeah, and it's like, okay, they keep planning about this. She's gonna die and blah blah. I'm like, okay, can we deal with this already?
Yeah, and then you find out it was like an alternate time clone thing of Barry or something like that.
Yeah,
Very strange. Very strange.
it was evil Barry all along.
Literally, that's what it was. He had done this like time maneuver Deus Ex Machina thing where he like ran so fast he created like a time double or something that like caught on fire. So it was like trapped in like an infinite loop of pain and suffering, and he became the god of speed apparently, and like went into the Speed Force and all this and came out with an Iron Man armor. I don't know how that works, but yeah, his intro actually, like when they actually introduce him, is really sick and one of my favorite moments of that series. But like, yeah, the rest of it's kind of just like more speedsters. How fast can you go this time?
Just a half step faster this time.
If you believe it, you can do it.
I mean, it just seemed like the build up to Savitar was like he was actually going to be some kind of weird god,
Yeah,
and no, he's just another
he's
dude in a
Barry.
suit
He's like
who
running
runs
around
really
at weird
fast.
points in time, basically. Like that's really all it was. So, yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I really have not watched Supergirl at all, and I don't know if I'm really going to. Honestly, like Legends of Tomorrow was terrible. I stopped that after like 3 episodes. Like I said,
I know
Arrow's
Alex
crap.
was watching that. Yeah,
Alex watches all that stuff, and he's like, "Oh, it's so good."
he is. He's adorable. You're right.
Yeah. Been up to anything else, Josh? Playing anything else? Watching anything else?
Not really.
No. All right.
How about that game?
What game? Oh, the robot
we played
game?
it once.
Yeah, we played it the once. We haven't really touched it since. It's fun though. It's interesting to play together. It's difficult and interesting.
Because the controls are definitely not what you expect them to be.
Yeah.
But they're like awkward in a way that you feel like this really should be this kind of awkward because you're flying a big ass robot.
Yeah. It's like slow and clunky and like not very reactive. So like it feels like you should be, doing that. So
I gotcha.
yeah. Excuse my cracking of a can. I'm not drinking, I promise. It's
Product
seltzer.
placement. Just
It's seltzer, I promise. I'm not. I did have a little bit of whiskey, I didn't. I'm sorry.
it's RC cola. Admit it.
I just finished my cider, so yeah, it was fun. I mean, I enjoy it. The characters are really cool. Who was the one you always use, Josh? The Ninja E one, the kind of real fancy guy. Spirit Bomb. He had the Spirit Bomb. Yeah.
Names.
I don't know. One guy has a Spirit Bomb. That guy was nuts.
It's definitely one of the ones you have to get the season pass for or
It
whatever.
was one of the last ones they released, but he straight up has a Spirit Bomb. It's wild.
And of course, it's overpowered as hell, right?
Yeah, it's
Not really.
not as bad
No?
as the Big O type one. That one is ridiculous. Is it that one? No. What's the big punchy one? The one who looks like Reinhardt. He looks like Reinhardt, and his old
Oh.
like it's so dumb.
I
It
thought
just
would
goes
be a
everywhere.
dragon.
I mean, I use the dragon. I love the dragon. He was cool. He has this like big anime slash. It's
Naturally.
ridiculous. Yeah. He just it's
Are
crazy.
you talking about Godzilla who gets a sword?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
He's great. I love it.
Myria, I believe is the robot name.
Okay.
One that I like.
Yeah. Everyone's got a spirit bomb. So that's neat. It's nifty.
I dig that.
Yeah. What have you been up to, Rob?
Well, I've been definitely trying to put that list together for this review, making notes and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's taken this entire time to get through 18 episodes. And I'm scared, guys. I can't do it anymore. I can't.
I don't know why you did in the first place.
Because I'm committed. I am dedicated
We are
to torturing
professionals.
myself to get this done because God damn it,
committed to
somebody
the-
has to.
We only committed to the first 10 episodes, even
We
though
did.
I couldn't watch
You know
that.
He's a masochist. That's why.
And-
That's
and
really
you-
what
you
it is.
I was like, you know what? What if we just go for it? What if we? Because I said it. I'm like, we should just watch them all. And then I tried.
That
I
was
tried
wrong.
so hard.
That was wrong.
It was dead wrong. Past me would hate future me.
What have I become?
So I have a good at least 12 episodes of notes before my mind quit. So that's what I've been up to for this whole time.
His brain is melted. That's
gone.
it. It's gone. There is no brain anymore.
We're gonna rock and roll. Oh god.
That's Voltron. Rock and roll. Rock and roll. I'm gonna put it on before this episode's over. I can throw that for free.
yeah, please do that.
I might actually do it before we start the review part.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Have you been playing anything, watching anything like that?
Well, other than this, I'm good. I actually let's see, Breath of the Wild.
Okay. Yeah, give us an update
So
on that.
as you know, I've been playing vanilla and with no guides, no nothing, and I just defeated the desert giant machine
Okay.
after I want to say at least 20 hours of trying to figure out how to do it, and then realizing that I had to dress as a woman to get into the woman town, which didn't click. I thought I could go over the walls, and I gotta tell you, I spent 15 minutes trying to figure out how I could, like, each particular wall I could try to sneak around. Like, these defenses got to be weak somewhere. They've got to be somewhere.
Rob pulled out a blueprint and glasses and like got an engineering degree and tried to figure out how he could.
I
Like,
hired a team of
maneuver
11
over.
people to get me into this place.
Zelda rolls up and goes, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Don't worry about it.
I got this.
Don't do it."
But so I defeat that thing, and now I have no idea what to do with myself. But yeah, so that's what I've been playing.
Nice. Nice.
I mean, it really is dope. Like it's like it's really like playing like a PS1 game when there were no guides, there was no fucking game facts or something that I could Google. Like I had to figure this shit out on my own, and I want to do it so bad. I think I watched one video about how to get more arrows because I was running out of arrows nonstop.
Nice. I just imagine you like in your apartment with like the string line, like a serial killer, like trying to figure out like a detective pattern thing, and like pictures of the
office.
different points and like a red yarn.
There's just drawings all around my office and like cigarette ash down everywhere.
Pepe Sylvia.
I got
Lord.
it.
I did it, and then you just immediately get caught. Oh Lord.
So yeah,
Nice. Nice.
that's what I've been doing. How about you, Carl?
Oh boy, I did a lot of things actually. I finished Into the Badlands because the final couple episodes were put up on Netflix. It's
Great
fantastic, fantastic. I thought Pilgrim was a problem before until the last couple episodes, and he becomes a psychotic problem, and it's fantastic.
I only watched like a season and a half of that. Like they got out of the Badlands and now we're trying to get back into the Badlands.
Yeah, that's when they introduce a lot of really cool things, and then by the third season, the characters turn kind of flat, but the action is always fantastic no matter what. Like that's one of the things about the show, that the fight scenes are always phenomenal. And then they add Nick Frost at one point, and it's just like, oh, now he's here.
I do remember I remember seeing him in it. But
Yeah.
quick thing about about the action sequences. The first season was fucking dope, but is it consistent or do they get like more supernatural as it goes along?
So you know the black eye thing that MK has? You guys are both familiar with that?
Right.
So the main crux of this is everyone's after this kid that shows up in the first season because he has this black eye superpower, turns into a super badass, like Terminator mode when it kicks on, right?
Right.
Towards the end of the show, it literally turns into an army of those guys fighting against Sonny, and a not army of those guys, the main character. And you find out like Sonny has a version of, they call it the gift in the show. Pretty much everyone has some form of the gift by the end of it, essentially. All the main characters anyway. Like the Widow gets one, one of the main antagonist type ladies.
Okay.
She gets it at one point. Baji had it at one point. Nick Frost, he had it at one point apparently.
Is it like a Super Saiyan thing where you unlock it, or are you injected with something?
It's some people are born with it, and then you find there's this MacGuffin room that literally gives it to people. It's straight up just like they find a room and Pilgrim starts like just handing it to people.
It's a Blutz ray.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. The people that aren't born with it, like Pilgrim is one of those people that he takes the gift from Sonny's kid, who like develops it super early. You find out that like their bodies just can't handle extensive use of it and that kind of thing, and it poisons your mind and that whole sort of usual, the Messiah falling from grace sort of thing message that Pilgrim goes through that arc sort of deal. But then you meet a clan called the Black Lotus, which are literally trained especially to fight people with the gift, and they're pretty cool. You find out like Sonny's history and all this, and it's a very cool show, and I highly recommend it to anyone who's a fan of like classic wire fu type things.
I mean, yeah, I was definitely into the first season, and then I just never really sat down because, again, I'm the type where I can't marathon a show, but bit by bit I can do it, and I just never got around to actually because I knew I was going to get hooked again.
It starts to get away from that weird like southern plantation like area versus area baron thing.
Right. Yeah.
It gets away from that by the second season, and then they kind of get into you get more into the world, which is what I think kind of kept me to stick around, because that world's a very interesting setting. It's very Mad Maxy almost. It has hard like Fist of the North Star vibes.
Right, because it is a post-apocalyptic thing.
Yeah,
right?
Post-apocalyptic, super kung fu, crazy powers, all that kind of stuff. It's very, very Fist of the North Star, which is cool, part of the draw. So yeah, go check it out. It's all on Netflix now. The final like 4 or 5 episodes just got put up there, so it's thick. I dig it. The other show I finished watching in lieu of Voltron Force, because I'm a procrastinator. Watched a lot of things. Very few of them were Voltron Force.
We're so good at this.
I'm a professional. I finished the second season of Kengan Ashura, which is the other Baki the Grappler type, like super martial art and super muscular show. That anime is phenomenal. I love that anime. It's so cool.
I think it just looks like a complete Baki the Grappler ripoff.
Oh yeah, it 100% is.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're
that's
just
what I love
on par.
about it. Yeah,
they're equally on par with the amount of muscle ripples throughout their characters.
And you get this super eccentric, like weird people that do like weird styles of whatever, and it's an underground fighting tournament and all this. And I don't know, I thoroughly enjoy that stuff. So I'm a sucker for that kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's brutal as fuck too. So.
Oh yeah, that helps a lot. And I forget what the name character's name is, Oda, something like that.
Sure.
Yeah, why not? His like main attack is the adamantine shoulder, for Baji Chuan. He does the big fuck you shoulder, and I love that. That was one of my favorite moves in all of martial arts. So anyone who has one of those is pretty fantastical. Yeah. And then after that, I just played a bunch of new stuff, actually. I got into Black Desert Online a little bit.
What is that? I have no idea what that is.
It's an MMO. So it's very combat-y. I am going to pick it up on the Xbox, by the way, Josh. We'll play. I do like it a lot, actually. I'll pick it up on there so we can play together. They just added Striker to PS4. That's why it took me a little longer to get it on Xbox. But I will definitely pick it up on there. It's very... if Final Fantasy XIV had an actual combat system, like a fighting game almost, you have certain moves and certain combinations of moves that string together to make combos, and there's actually like hyper armor and hit stun and all this kind of stuff. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little grindy. It's the easiest way to level up is literally just grind out mobs of like enemies and NPCs throughout the world. And it's cool. It's flashy. It's fun. It looks pretty, if nothing else.
Hey, I mean, shit, fuck it.
The character I just picked up, Striker, is probably my favorite character. His whole thing is, the same thing, adamantine shoulder, into big kung fu punches and things like that. And my other character is the big dumb guts sword character, of course. So those are my two classes I'm playing right now.
You're either graceful as fuck, or you're just gonna boop them with a big thing.
I'm gonna hit him with the biggest piece of steel I can find, or I'm gonna go like old Karate Man on them. That's pretty much what it is. Other than that, I did play Outer Worlds, which is a fantastic game. I love that game. If anyone is into Fallout, I highly recommend Outer Worlds. It is the best Fallout game not made by Bethesda ever, because it's like the only Fallout game not made by Bethesda. Yeah, it's made by Obsidian, who actually did Fallout New Vegas, and from what I understand, this could be wrong. This is what I heard, that they had offered to create another Fallout for them, and Bethesda basically laughed them out of the room. So they were like, all right, we'll just make one anyway. So that's how Outer Worlds came to be. It's very much the same kind of vibe as like Fallout 4, but more of the sci-fi stuff. They steer into it a little bit better, so it's not just like the old 50s sci-fi, future kind of thing, post-apocalyptic.
I got you. Yeah.
The whole kind of thing is like capitalism, and you're a worker and all this, and you wake up after a couple decades and just kind of go nuts. And what's really cool is you can actually murder every NPC in the game, so you can actually just straight up end quest lines, like major quest lines, and they affect things later in the game. Like, for instance, one of the first major like story problems I ran into was diverting power to this corporate town where basically everyone was a worker. It was kind of like the soulless line worker kind of thing. Work till you die, pay off your debts. You have debts for this, you have to have someone pay for your grave spot kind of thing when you die. It's very interesting. I'm very, very poorly explaining it, but you get the idea. It's very much like capitalistic society where everyone's trying to skim a little off the top sort of thing.
So what's the gameplay like?
So it's a first person shooter, but there's kind of what I like about it. Actually, before I get into that, because that's kind of drawn out too, let me finish what I was saying about the story.
Oh, my bad.
Because I am not going to remember to go back to that, and just leave it right there. So one of the main things is you find out that a lot of the workers left and deserted and created their own little camp in like a botanical garden kind of thing. So the first major choice you have to make is you need a power disruptor, power coil type thing for your ship so you can fly around. There's an extra one in the botanical garden and the city. You have to decide where you want to divert power and take the extra one from. So you can either divert power to the botanical garden, let the city burn down. Well, not burn, but, die off. Or you can divert it to the city and let the deserters go, and you basically support the capitalism. And then in between, you have characters being like, you get a companion most of the time, kind of like in Mass Effect, you get your little party members to come with you, that sort of deal.
I gotcha.
She's saying that like, oh, everyone in the town is really great. It'd be, don't let the town die. There is good people there, yada, 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 that kind of thing. Kind of giving you that, like, should I be in your moral compass sort of thing. Me being the maniacal, psychotic person that I am in these video games. I did the right thing. I'm saying this, but I did the right thing. I diverted power to the capitalistic town.
Yeah, of course.
So when I told the botanical lady, I said, hey, I diverted power here, and she's freaking out because there's no power left. I took the power coil, and then I told her, hey, I'm going to go convince the guy to step down who's running the town. I convinced him to step down. So in the end, the deserters came back to the town, and I made it a happy place because she took over. And then I
got lucky, and you fucking know it.
Oh, wait, there's more. There's more. As I'm watching the NPC guy, I talk down. Walk out of the room, I realize there's a locked room. So I go over to the room, and it says I need a key card, and it says private storage. So I gun everyone down in the room. So I had already convinced this dude that he was perfectly fine and safe and he could leave whenever he wants, and then I gunned everyone down in the room. Took his key card. I found an axe. That was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that's the kind of stuff you can do in this game. Like it takes that, like, you can play however you want to the nth degree, and it's so much fun. I love it. Getting to the gameplay, it is a first-person shooter. You can actually choose, different classes of weapons. There's big, when I mowed everyone down, I was using basically a minigun. So that added to it. I thought that was pretty fun.
The right tool for the job,
Exactly.
man. I got it.
Yeah. So, also being the weirdo that I am, the way they do classes is there's big, like, umbrella classes, like melee, ranged, that kind of thing. There's charisma sort of deal, like talking to people. There's intelligence, there's medical, or I shouldn't say intelligence, science, there's medical. They all have their different purposes. Whether, you can make potions and, usual RPG type things. Normally in, like, an Elder Scrolls or a Fallout game, you have to kind of put points into all these little subcategories right away. The nice thing about this game is they keep it those big blanket ones, so you have until level 50 for each of those categories to figure out which part you really like. So all of melee, there's a single-handed weapon, there's a two-handed weapon, there's, like, blocking, parrying, that kind of stuff. If you like to play like that, and you want to only use two-handed weapons, you can then decide that within that time frame. Do you get what I mean? Like, you get little perks for each of those subcategories up until level 50, and that's when the big blanket lets you split into the little subcategories.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, so you level up the big category. You level up everything, essentially, to level 50 at once, getting perks from everything. And then once you hit level 50 for that specific area, that's when you get the subcategories. So, like, right now, because, again, there's something I need to talk to someone about that brings out in these games. I run around with a sniper rifle, a minigun, and a big old sword. So usually it's me running up on a town, or not running up, I guess, sneaking up on a town, sniping 2 or 3 people, walking in, unloading all my bullets, and then I just kind of sword down whoever survives. That's usually my gameplay for that particular game. It's
normal.
It's very therapeutic. But it is fantastic. I actually really do love that game. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I just haven't had a chance with work and everything. I haven't had a lot of chance to put too much more time into it after I did that sweet, moral decision. So, let's see. I think that was pretty much it, honestly. Oh, I did get my Showa Godzilla collection, which is a very cool collection of the first 15 films in the Godzilla line.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
Yeah, each movie has a one-page thingy-majigger with it. And I mean thingy-majigger by, like, essay. It basically has, like, a breakdown of, the history and what this movie's about and yada, yada, yada. And it has its own specific artwork, each one by a different person. And the artwork's pretty fantastic. So that just came out. And I got that. And other than that, I've just been catching up on some manga reading. Waiting on my new copy of Demon Slayer. So keep going with that eventually. But yeah, Outer Worlds was pretty much my highlight, as you could tell. Because that game is so much fun. Yeah, so that was really it for me. A lot of not watching Voltron Force. So, does anyone else want to bring anything up that they thought of in what they've been doing?
No, let's just do this.
All right. Do you guys want to cue up the theme song with me so we can rock out together?
All right.
No.
All right.
No? Okay. Oh, Lord. I don't know how to play it so you guys can hear it, but I'm going to play it. Are you going to cue it up, Rob? Are you going to rock out with me? I'm going to take that as a yes.
Hold on. I'm on
Okay.
it. All right.
I'm excited to play this big, dumb theme song.
All right.
Does it have the lyrics? Oh, my God. I hope it has the lyrics.
You don't know the lyrics already?
Oh, I do. I don't.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
You ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, there we go.
Of course.
You got an ad?
I get a fucking ad. Good fail. All right.
Oh, God,
it's so
just
good.
disgusting.
love it. Let's Voltron. Let's Voltron. Let's Voltron.
Do you even see like the kids who are like the main characters for more than a couple clips?
Nope.
Like, it makes you think it's the same group, but it's like, nope, they're teachers.
What really gets me is that they banked on the fact that they got Swiss Beats to make this track. Now, if you don't know who he is, you're not gonna know. But he's like one of the more popular music producers for like hip hop and rap from like the early thousands and 90s and even up to now. But I mean, that is the selling point that I took from this. I was like, oh, Swiss Beats, that means it might be pretty deep. Oh god,
nope.
Let's
Voltron.
They got Swiss Beats on like a really off day.
they probably didn't actually get him. They just loaded him up for like Percocets and dragged him into the studio.
They just grabbed his hand and like made him sign a contract that he didn't even
sign it.
It's really just three guys in the basement.
The first comment on this video is, "I don't care what people say about this song. This song is badass."
Oh my god, no!
I told you guys the second I watched the first episode, I was like, "This is literally GT. This is the GT theme song. I don't care what anyone says." Welcome to the Grand Tour.
It's really that level of just cringe. It's like,
it's so good,
and yet this is how we start. This is just how it starts.
Just cold open into that intro. Let's Voltron.
So, oh god, all right.
Oh man. So let's get into this probably short and vicious review.
Yeah, it's fast and hard.
So this
I think we spent most of our time just talking about what we've done.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's more interesting.
It really is. So this show is a sequel to the original Voltron. Unlike the Netflix, not the Netflix one that we reviewed already, not Legendary Defenders, the original 1984 Voltron. This is a sequel where you find out that the Lions have been decommissioned because they apparently went nuts on Voltron Day when they defeated King Lotor. That's the important part, King Lotor. And then you find out some big military man who may or may not be voiced by John DiMaggio.
No, actually, you know who it is.
No, is
it is Gary Chalk.
Oh, I don't know who that
Gary Chalk is none other than Optimus Primal.
Wow.
Yeah.
How far he's fallen.
He was hurting for money in 2011.
Yeah,
he was just coming off Beast Machines. That's
2011. They kind of wrapped that 17th Transformer reboot.
That's rough. I feel so bad for him now. So yeah, this is a very bad sequel where you find out that the Voltron Force has been quote unquote disbanded, and you find out very quickly that's not true because of course not. Called that one 1,000 miles away. And then, they try to play it off because Lance is, like, this really douchey teacher who's calling all the main kids out in, like, class and stuff. And I was like, oh, wow, that's cool. I'm glad he's not going to take them to a secret base and show them where everything is. Oh, look, what happened?
That's a typical expected storytelling. Nothing crazy, no crazy, like, original ideas. This is just, here, this is what we're going to do.
This is a show that they were like, how do we make the most generic kid show ever? Yep. Slap Voltron on it. Let's do this.
And is it me, or when I looked at Lance, I'm like, that looks like a rejected design for Anakin Skywalker. It had to be some of those.
He actually very much looks like the Clone Wars cartoon Anakin Skywalker.
It bothered the hell out of me.
Yeah. So the show kind of starts with like you meeting the main one kid. It's only the one kid. I don't even remember his name. What's his name?
Daniel.
The main kid is Daniel.
Daniel.
I thought it started with a V. Isn't it Vince?
Vince is the other one.
Which one's Vince? Is the black kid?
Yep.
Okay. I don't know. There's I don't know, man. There's 3 kids apparently that help out with the 5 Voltron Force at one point or another, and they're just kind of there. The first couple episodes, they're just kind of there.
Yep. They're whatever, man.
They're learning how to be paladins is what they are doing for the first couple episodes. I will say, one of my favorite parts, I shouldn't say favorite because that's stretching it. One of the things I did find kind of cool about this show is their little like wrist brace computer things were kind of cool. Yeah. Not gonna lie, those were kind of cool, especially when Shiro, what's his name? Not in this one, not Shiro.
Shiro.
He's Keith actually in this one, right? He is Keith, right? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so Keith Keith/Shiro. I'm gonna call him Shiro. I don't even care.
No.
Yes.
He doesn't deserve that.
I don't care. So Keith/Shiro is like infiltrating where the lions are, and he puts on this like Black Panther suit because he's the Black Lion, and he puts on this Black Panther suit, and I thought that was actually kind of cool, where he just like grows claws and all that stuff. But
yeah, like all right. So I have a note here that basically what they did was they took all these characters and they reduced them to exactly what a kid would just kind of gawk at. Like look at Pidge's design. First of all, Pidge's design is a Green Lantern. He looks like a Green Lantern, period. And Hunk is just this yellow shirted big dude. It's just so uninspired. Like they literally drew the first things you think of when you try to think of the original Voltron characters. It's just. And then they took this childish spin to it. It's just so bad and so poorly drawn that first of all, you can't tell the difference between Daniel and Keith a good majority of the time.
No, especially when Keith gets his little haircut thing. I was like, who am I even looking at right now?
It's and then you get the voice acting, and I know you guys are just as passionate about voice acting as I am, but they actually had pretty talented people on the show. But the fucking dialogue is so trash, you can't deliver anything with a fucking conviction.
I don't even know like what to call this other than like absolute garbage.
What do you think about the lion designs?
They're terrible. They're so terrible. They have this weird like try to be sleek and futuristic thing, but it clearly was just like, let's make a cheap toy where we can use the same mold.
Like you could tell they have their own, like, I don't know if they're supposed to look like a particular big cat, but they did have this, they look different enough that you can tell that they tried, but it's not good. It's just like,
it looks bad.
One has a bigger jaw than the others. The other one has a more sleek neck, and like that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Like that's the limitation of their originality. Now, again, they look more like robots. I'll give them that. They look pretty robot-y, but I can't.
I don't know. And like Voltron himself looks fine, I guess.
He looks very tiny. Doesn't he look?
I don't know. He
looks underscaled like crazy.
Like he looks better than the lions do individually, honestly. I never got to the point where they started swapping out the main body. That's the whole gimmick with this one. They can swap out the Black Lion.
That starts in episode 5.
Okay, so yeah, I didn't even get to that. So that tells you how much I watched. But yeah. They can apparently swap out the Black Lion body for the other lions to do different things. Do they get like different abilities or something?
They get different weapons.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't look good. It's definitely they asked some kid, and the kid would be really cool if they could switch places.
What if the red line was the middle? That's probably what that was, honestly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's their kind of like gimmick for this one. I don't know. Like watching it, I'm not gonna lie though. Here it is. Here's a picture of all of them. I'll put it in the Discord. Oof, God, it looks so much worse than I thought it was going to.
Yeah, can you find all the variations? Like,
yeah, it's. I'm about to put it in the Discord right now.
Okay.
Upload. So this is all of them put together. So it looks like black is your usual blazing sword. Red just turns into a race car, apparently. Green gets a sword and shield. That's kind of cool. Blue gets wings. Yellow just gets chain maces. That's all right. That's kind of cool. That is kind of cool.
But it's like, I mean, that's it. You know what I mean? Like that's.
But they could have. The problem is like, the lines don't make sense once they switch them. Like with the yellow one, where he has the 2 morning stars. That one leg should just be fucking huge because it's the black lion. But no, it's somehow magically the same size as the other leg.
I will give them the proportion between the black and the other lions is a little bit closer than it normally is. But yeah, the black lion piece should always be like a lot bigger.
Like significantly bigger.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like in Legendary Defenders in the original, the black lion was like twice the size of the other ones. At least in this one, they're kind of closer, but yeah, he should definitely be chunkier than than it is in, when it takes the place of the other ones. So yeah, I don't know. It's ugh.
It's even worse when the black one takes the arm, because
Yeah, definitely. Yes, very much.
the arms are the two smallest
Yeah,
lines.
100%. Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm not gonna lie though. What I was saying with the mental diseases, Rob has PTSD apparently. Josh is, I don't know.
I'm scarred.
Yeah, Josh is just, he's done. He may have severe depression from it. I'm not sure.
He's in denial.
He's in denial. Yeah.
I refuse to watch it again because no, it's just. It should be stricken from the record. It should be deleted from the internet.
Just removed from the annals of history. Oh man,
this is an outrage.
I'm not gonna lie though, I did get a little bit of Stockholm syndrome watching it.
Well, yeah, like
as I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, am I enjoying this? Oh no, I'm kind of enjoying this. Oh no.
I have some notes in here where I praise like moments of it. Like actually, let's see, they have a couple Lance lines that are actually delivered pretty funny, but those are like lines, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like I'm trying to come up with anything good that the show is about, and the continuity is weird. Like it's 10 years after the end of the Voltron main series. So this level of organization doesn't seem, well, again, this is as far as we've seen, you know what I mean? Like it seems like they basically took the Empire and remade it another empire. You know what I mean? Like there is no peace, harmony. This is all just another fucking repeat of the first plot, where there's this growing, or in this case now the issue is growing because it's humans being dicks, which is not uncommon. But I'm just saying, like, it doesn't seem like this show needed to be made at all. Like there was no point.
I just I don't know what, other than like being like, oh, this toy sold really popular. Like what was the motivation to resurrect this? Like, you know what I mean? Like the last time we saw Voltron was 1984. It's not like there was like a 90s cartoon that was like dumb popular about Voltron, that kind of thing. Like I just don't know like what warranted this show in terms of like someone's being like, oh, this is really popular, let's make this.
Actually, I think there was a Voltron between this one and...
There was? Please tell me it was better than this. But was it a direct sequel or a spin-off?
That wasn't Vehicle Voltron?
No, it was like the original 3D Voltron.
Oh.
I'm looking it up.
Okay. But in the meantime, while he's doing that, this I don't like. Josh, you were saying that they like replace
the third dimension.
Oh God, it's playing a video.
Voltron: The Third Dimension.
Voltron: The Third Dimension. I have to see this.
And that had 2 seasons.
Really? I've never heard of this show ever.
It was like the first one in 3D.
Wow, that is something. Holy shit!
Talk about like late 90s here. So
we're talking. Yeah, this is like.
Whoa.
This is a reboot.
Oh. Yeah, but Reboot was out at this point, right? Like Reboot looked way better. Not much better, but Reboot looked way better.
Reboot looked. I think because they weren't trying to look like humans. They had like just blue skin in Reboot.
Oh God.
But yeah, so there was Voltrons before.
This is oh God.
Oof.
Think PS1.
It was
bad graphics.
This is the you know what this is? This reminds me of the 3D Mortal Kombat like short thing that they did that had like 3 random fights where they just kind of wiggle at each other. This is what the graphics remind me of. Oh God, stop. Sorry, everyone listening to the podcast. I started a video and it had the sound bars.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it's rough. I'm done with this. I don't want to look at this anymore. I'm scared.
Okay. Yeah.
But like, it can't have done that well. It couldn't have.
I never even heard of it until just a couple, well, I guess the first time you mentioned it.
Wow, it actually had like the original like English voice actors for it too.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
That's crazy. Anyway, getting back to Voltron Force, I don't know. It's bad.
All right. So again, I got all the way up to 18, but what I saw was what the kids essentially end up being, especially the black one. he ends up being like a power up essentially for them.
Yeah.
He had like all of them have their own quirks that they bring an additional power to the Voltron Force. But I guess we didn't get that far, but it really is weird how they're the ones that are able to do this. But
is it, from what I saw, like I saw the transformation of them going into the green one, the green Voltron thing.
Right.
And it looked like Daniel, I think his name is, jumps into the cockpit with Pidge and like does his electric thing that comes from his bracelet. So getting back to those bracelets, by the way, because that's kind of part of it's kind of part of this.
Right.
It can apparently analyze how you fight and creates a weapon for you to like capitalize on that. So the girl, I forget her name. What's her name?
Mari.
It's
like
the
that.
niece of Allura. That's all I know. She gets a bow staff, like a holographic bow staff. The main kid.
I think all these weapons are holographic, right?
Yeah, all the weapons are holographic. Like even the paladins get one. Whoa. What is happening?
All right there, bro.
Yeah.
Sorry, that reminded me. We saw Lighthouse. It reminded me of the final scene of that, where it's just like grumbling, awkward static the entire time. It's terrifying. Where he's just like screaming and static. It's weird. It's very strange. But anyway, the main kid, the new Black Lion pilot, gets these like holographic like zipline claw things.
Yeah,
that are very strange. And then Daniel gets like electricity. That's really it. Does he do anything with the electricity, or just get electricity?
Vince, he also gets like these tendrils that come out of his fingertips.
Weird.
Yeah.
All you need is electricity. But
Yeah, he gets like these weird little tendrils.
Coming from the guy who is perfectly happening, force lightninging everything.
That's why I would fall to the dark side. Oh, you got lightning? Fuck it, I'm going to the dark side.
I'll show you lightning.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I guess that's pretty much as far as
that's pretty much it. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, there's nothing about the show that's either good nor original. It's very expected. The only gimmick that's half decent is the fact that the lions can interchange, but even that doesn't make sense at all, really. But yeah, it's whatever. And they resurrect Lotor via like the only note I put in here is Essence of Hagar. That's what they called it. Yeah. That's the MacGuffin that they used. So for some reason he comes back and then he's able to turn into an Oni, and that's it. That's as far as we got.
Yep. That's it. He's just there. He's hanging out.
Yeah. Literally has done nothing other than show that he can become that ugly Oni thingy.
I don't even know what you're talking about, but that sounds terrible.
That's what I'm saying. It's down the line. It's down the line in the episodes.
So, I don't know. Yeah. It's like I said, looking at it right now, I'm like, this is disgusting. But as I'm actually watching it, I'm like, okay, I'm enjoying this a little bit. It may just be because it's so bad, and it's like watching a car crash. I can't look away. I don't know, but
it will seep into your soul.
It will,
and kill you from the inside.
And then when I just, when we turn on next week's podcast, I'm just for an hour and a half, and that's literally all I'm going to be doing. You'll know what happened. I finished Voltron.
And roll. We're gonna rock and roll.
Let's Voltron.
Oh, God.
Oh man, I'm done talking about Voltron Force. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Are we done with it?
We're done with it because we're done. There's no helping this.
Yeah,
we hate it. We got 10 episodes in.
Let's just move on to the next. Should we do the roll now, or do we want to do it? Do we want to do the top 5? We had a top 5.
Yeah, we kind of game planned ahead that we knew we weren't going to get very much out of this show, so we also kind of prepared a last minute top 5 list to go over.
I think we spent like 45 minutes on what we've been doing.
That's fine. Yeah,
I don't think we need to pad the episode more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So we could do that, but let's do the poll now.
Okay. Let me pull up the list. Yeah. We'll do the roll. So, if you are not familiar with our list, if it decides to load here, we basically have a list of a lot a lot of things, and we are trying to keep it as unbiased as possible. I mean, we could make a short one right now to kind of palate cleanse of some good stuff we want to watch. I don't care. But we have a list of 400 and something now.
401?
400 and dose. Minus, we've done 3 reviews now? 4 reviews?
Yes,
Something
sir.
like that. So, let's see. Random number generator. We're going to random number generate which one we're going to do next. And hopefully we've had 2 hard stinkers right in a row.
That's being kind.
Being kind. Do you guys think this was worse or better than Dinah?
Comparatively speaking, this is worse.
Worse.
Because
Okay.
Dinah actually was Japanese, and Japanese just that much better.
Okay. Let's do
Come on,
this.
VR Troopers.
VR Troopers.
Let's
I watched like the first 3 episodes on Netflix already. I am waiting for it.
Garo.
So, give me a drum roll.
Dun,
Alright, you can stop. That
dun.
was terrible. Don't ever do that again.
Yeah.
VR
Okay.
Troopers.
Okay. We are going with 243.
VR Troopers. VR Troopers.
Mrs. Potato Head.
Madan Senki Ryokendo. I'm actually really excited for this. Ryokendo
I don't even
is...
know what the heck that is.
Madan Senki Ryokendo is I believe it's Japanese. It's a very cool mage-based not Kamen Rider. It's basically a rider show. It's more like that Armor Riders from China. It's kind of like that.
What's the name?
Madan Senki Ryokendo. I will put it in the I deleted
no
it.
way now. Nice. Well, we're going to substitute VR Troopers for it.
Oh no! How do I undo? Edit.
Fix it.
There we go.
Control
Okay.
V.
Control V. It doesn't work on there. All right. Madan Senki Ryu Kendo.
Wow, what a title!
I just put it in the Discord. You guys can check that out. It is actually pretty cool. I watched a transformation from these not too long ago. They use these cool keys and get some cool mage powers, and I believe there's a hell of a lot of episodes. So
There are 52 episodes and 2 specials.
that is a shit ton.
Whoa.
I'm only committing for the first time.
I think we'll call this little review thing the first 10.
Yeah, I think are we just going to call it first 10 from now on? Should we just keep that the running rule?
Let's call it first 10s. Yep.
Cool. All right. So,
Madan Senki. I'm actually interested. This is actually
it looks
cool.
it's from what I've seen, the clips I've seen are actually pretty cool. Not gonna lie. So
Does one dude have a big gorilla? What?
he has a gun.
It's
I knew that.
What year did this come out? 06. Oh fuck.
Yeah,
Okay.
right around the time of Kabuto.
Dun, 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 dun.
Just looking through these pictures of like one of the toys looks like a
Speaking of which,
toy gorilla with it.
What?
that's part of my top 5s.
Oh,
Toy gorillas?
Yeah.
to be fair, the Optimus Prime, where he had like 7 forms, the huge one was fantastic. Toy gorilla. Just saying.
The Optimal Optimus? The one that
Optimal
took,
Optimus, but after he absorbed the original Optimus Prime spark.
Yeah, the one that took 20 minutes to transform at like an
But he had like a bike and a jet and a gorilla.
He was the bike and the jet and the gorilla.
It was fantastic and beautiful. And then, Megatron's over here being like, well, I'm a dragon. And everyone's like, I
And
don't
that's
care.
about it,
And I
bro.
turn into a hand. So that's cool.
Well, it's better than the original Megatron, who was just a gun.
Listen, he's a big gun, though. All right. So, yeah, we're going to review that. It looks pretty cool. I'm excited for this one. It's got a very Armor Riders kind of dealio going on. Yeah, should we get into this top 5 real quick?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
We can get through that quick enough.
It shouldn't take too long.
All right.
Were you going to say something, Josh?
This is the Mooks one, right? Because I really don't have.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I don't have a top 5. They're all the same. They're
that's
freaking
fine.
all interchangeable.
That's
to
fine.
me.
Half of mine
Yeah, I
aren't
mean-
even like those like jobber dudes. They turned out to just be like the kaijin monster type things.
Whatever.
So like I learned a new word today. Let's preface this by I learned a new word today called mooks. I didn't know what that was. So we looked at it. We looked up the definition, and I learned another word called sartorial. we learned a lot today.
Our vocabulary has doubled.
It's doubled. I now am at 3
We only
after an hour of talking. Oh, one thing before I get into this, because I'm really excited. I'm going to do it anyway because I don't care. They announced today Dragon Ball Super Broly. The trailer just dropped, and he looks phenomenal.
Dragon Ball Super Broly?
Yeah, from the movie. They just added him for fighters. They released the new trailer.
Oh.
I'm so excited.
That's not bad. Well, I wonder what his play type is going to be.
He's going to hit you really hard, and he's going to throw
hard?
you really hard. I'll put the trailer up as well if anyone wants to check it out later or while we're talking, because they don't care about what we're saying.
Imagine if they turned Broly into a grappler. Like what
That's
the-
literally what he is. What are you talking about?
really like
Yes!
just straight up king style grappling.
He's literally just throws you around. That's what he
That's
does.
awesome.
He is
That's
the
fucking
grappler
great.
of the game, other than 16. 16 is more like King, but
That's dope.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me see this real quick. It's only a minute long. If we want to watch this real quick before we get into the top 5, because this is more interesting to me right now than a bunch of mooks, like I've learned.
Like I said, I don't think we really need to pad the episode anymore.
All right.
That's fine. I still want to talk about this though, because I like this. I honestly don't care if we do this top 5, but I want to talk about Broly. Damn it!
Yeah, I don't have a problem talking about Brawley. I mean,
I don't
I
care
feel
about
I've
the top
loved
5.
Brawley
It's fine.
since the original
True.
movies.
Yes,
Oh, he's
he's gonna be good. Yeah, fuck the top 5. Let's talk about Broly.
that's fine.
So if you guys don't know, the original Broly in Fighters is very much, from the old movies, Legendary Super Saiyan Broly. Oh god, it's so good.
Oh man, Jesus.
He
fuck,
just hits you so hard. The Hulk
Oh my
smash.
god, dude.
Mm-hmm. He looks so good, guys.
Oh, he goes pseudo Saiyan.
And then he does the Godzilla breath. Yep. Just wait for it. He'll do the Godzilla breath. You'll see. So his whole thing's in this. We thought they were going to be installs.
Oh my god.
He straight up just Godzilla fire breath. It's so good. That's what he does in the movie, too, if you guys haven't seen the movie. So a lot of the stuff is very much based on the movie.
I went to the theater. Yeah, I saw that in the theater. I was like one of 2 people in there.
It was beautiful and amazing, and everyone should go watch that movie.
Oh yeah, I took my brothers to see that.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So his whole thing in this is everyone thought he was going to be an install character. If you don't know what install jargon means, and when it comes to fighting games, basically you spend bar to get a power up, and you usually hit stronger, a little more armor, that kind of thing. Everyone thought he was going to do that. In this, though, this is called his rage form when he has the black hair, when he's had the Super Saiyan armor on.
Okay.
He starts in a rage form. He goes Super Saiyan, which is where his hair just turns yellow. And then he also goes legendary, as you saw for the Godzilla breath. So it's not a true install. Supposedly, when his armor comes off, he hits harder, but he doesn't have as much hyper armor. Supposedly. That's what the leak said. So we're not 100% sure. This is the only thing they released. They haven't done an official gameplay thing or anything like that yet. But I was most excited to see his Godzilla breath because he does that in the movie, and it's phenomenal.
I'm digging it.
So I'm actually really excited. I'm definitely going to play. I call it Team Browsers. And it's
Why?
Videl in both Brawlies. That's going to be my main team, and I'm not going to explain that joke. So
Oh, that's fine. We're with you.
I'm going to let the internet solve that one for you. If not, I'm going to run 16 in both Brawlies because I love my big grapply boys. Yeah, so
Man, holy shit.
he looks so cool, and I'm so happy that this season has been in terms of DLC. The second season has been kind of lacking, in terms of animation and kind of presentation, I guess is the best word for it. Until we got to Gogeta, because clearly that's where all the money went. And then seeing Broly now, clearly they just put all the money in the last 2, and that's what kind of worried me about Broly, because I was like, oh man, did they really just put all the money into Gogeta? That would suck. I mean, Gogeta's fine, but
It's fucking Gogeta. Come on.
I hate Gogeta. I don't like Gogeta.
No? Are you a Vegito boy?
I'm neither. I don't like either of them.
No?
No.
Oh.
I've never liked Goku or Vegeta, really, honestly. That's because I'm an angsty teenager still at heart, and I don't like what everyone else likes because it's mainstream and super cool.
Yeah. Okay. Insert edge. Lord.
Yeah, we've been over this. I love me my edgelords, okay? So, this is why I still play ninjas in all the games, okay?
They understand me.
They understand my feelings. So yeah, in Legendary Super Saiyan Broly, the first one that they released back in the first season, he was one of the first two characters to show up with Bardock. He is very much a grappler. His whole thing is like he hits real hard. He has the express train, like he was just clotheslining everyone in that movie for eons, slamming him into whatever he could find.
That was a good one.
So those are his moves, big. I call it the express train. He's got his big, dumb, scary balls of doom. His level 3 is just the big, when he goes against Gohan and Goten in the second movie, he's got that big, huge ball. I think it's called a Mega Blaster or something like that. I forget what the actual move names are. I've always been terrible with that because they always change depending on the games in the show itself.
Dude, when I found out that Captain Ginyu's form was what? Dynamite Sunday? Something Milky Cannon.
Like Milky Cannon is his charge beam thing.
Yeah, I gave up. I was like, that's okay. You're
thinking of Double Sunday for Raditz, is what you're thinking.
Oh,
it's
that's
just
right.
His, double blasty thing.
Double Sunday, whatever.
And a lot of those naming conventions are like fan things and through video games and stuff like that. And so this one, Milky Cannon, because Toriyama just opened his fridge and started naming things after it. So.
Toriyama.
Listen. So I'm actually really excited for this Broly. He's super cool, and I think as a character, they made him really interesting in the new movie, and I kind of like him better than the old one.
You like the retcon? Because I do.
I did.
So what gets me about Broly is in the previous movies, his power level makes sense because he was just born with it. He was just a monster to begin with.
Yeah,
right.
And this one, he magically powers up at the speed of light. It's my power level's 30,000, but by the end of this movie, it's going to be in the millions.
Yeah,
millions.
he starts at a very high power level, and that's why he's exiled to begin with. But then
he starts out
exponentially grows.
It's like a high power level for a regular Saiyan.
Yeah, but he's a baby. Obviously.
And then I'm talking about when they find him again. He's not really all that impressive compared to all the other fighters.
No.
But in the first 5 seconds of the first fight he's really in, he's like, okay, now my power level just shoots up.
Yeah, because his whole thing is his whole reasoning behind it, supposedly, according to plot that's bad, but he can tap into the Uzaru power without actually going into the Uzaru form. That's why he just gets dumb powerful all the time.
Yeah, but the Uzaru power level is just 10 times his normal power level.
Yeah.
So that doesn't cover the distance and power that he's getting. I'm not saying
it makes sense. I'm just saying that's what they say in the movie. I am not arguing that it's kind of dumb.
He definitely had more of a character in the movie, and
that's what I like
that.
About him. Yes.
But
he's
his power level, but his power level just made no sense. Also, at this certain point, once he's when Frieza kills his father, spoiler alert.
By the way,
and then he blames it on a stray blast from.
I laughed so hard.
I'm like,
that was,
and then he gets
awesome.
Even more mad. I'm like, what? Why you didn't even like your father? You literally hated your father, but now you're like, oh, how could you take my daddy from me?
Stockholm.
And I'm gonna kill you.
I always saw it as it's the only connection that he's ever known. Literally, that's the only.
Except they've already established that he's already making connections with the two characters.
I understand that, and that's fine.
So it's those are the actual connections he had. He never had a real connection. In fact, his father's been a dick to him his entire life.
But that's literally all he's known, so he doesn't know that. We're coming from a place of, we understand that he's a dick, clearly. But, that's literally all he's known. That's the only connection he's known for his entire life.
Something also that doesn't make all his experience with other people is his father, who is a dick to him, and yet he somehow knows kindness and how to treat an animal right.
He's a beast.
No, this kid should be
just instinct, bro.
killing bugs with a magnifying glass, just beating the shit out of these things for fun because that's all he knows.
There's a scene in there where he tastes water for the first time. Water. He's never had water.
So what has he been drinking for the last?
He's been drinking bug juice. Bug juice, clearly.
The tears of his enemies.
The bug jelly.
I do like that they gave him more personality, but it's just some of the story just doesn't make any sense.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Like,
to be fair, it's Dragon
Once
Ball.
he's free of the control, he should be like, okay, I don't feel a reason to fight you anymore. Thanks.
I
Though I do like that they trick Frieza into fighting him for a while. It's like, we're gonna be
For an hour.
Yeah. Our buddy Steve, right? Yeah, Naylor.
Yeah.
He decided before I saw the movie. He saw it before I did. He decided he tried to tell me that Frieza held Broly off for an hour. Held him off. Those were the exact words he used.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw the movie, I was like, no, Frieza survived for an hour. There was no fighting back.
He just didn't kill him for an hour.
He happened to survive.
But I really did like the retcon. I think that, it has the potential for him to still go in either direction. Like,
he's part of the crew now. The movie ends with
he's a
him
good
joining
guy
the crew.
But that's what I mean. Like, it's still kind of ambiguous because he's a good guy, but
he's a good guy. That is like the ending. Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, you're a good guy now. Well, let's make friends. We'll fight again some other
Obviously,
time.
it'll be a problem if he loses control, but he's a good guy.
I mean. Like, I think that he has to be a focal point because if you're in a pinch and you have a guy like that, you literally have a Hulk level ally. You're not too worried.
The next movie apparently is an actual sequel to this Broly movie, and that's going to be coming out the end of next year, early 21. So
okay.
That's going to be the sequel. I don't know if they're going to do the Moro arc. They may be saving that for like the anime because that Super is coming back eventually. The anime itself.
Isn't that the prison thing? Whatever.
Yeah, Moro is the weird like prisoner galactic patrol thing, and Goku and Vegeta right now are learning completely different stuff actually. So we'll see how that goes. Goku is learning how to control Ultra Instinct, while Vegeta is learning on Yardrat actually, where Goku learned instant transmission.
He's gonna learn Vegeta with the instant transmission.
No, so the thing with the Yardrat is, I don't know what Yardratians. I don't know what the proper term is. The people who live on Yardrat, their whole thing is extreme, super precise key control. So they can do things like make themselves appear bigger. They can do things like full, like, do you remember how in Naruto, everyone would make the shadow clones, but Naruto's had like physical mass to them?
Yeah.
They do that kind of thing. So they have a key control that's like miles and miles above everyone else because they're weaker. It was kind of like, we're not as strong, but we can control it better. So Vegeta is learning that like fine-tuned control from them.
That would be dope.
So we'll see. I hope this is the beginning of their like branching path.
God. Isn't this where they like their god powers get sucked away?
Yeah, so Moro, the Planet Eater guy, he like wishes himself young again. He was a prisoner of galactic control, and he like sucks out their god powers.
Wait, he did what?
He slurped out their god powers. He went, and the god's gone.
He wished to be young again.
He did the quintessential, eternal youth, and he went to Goku and Vegeta.
Got it. Okay. So he did the Hocus Pocus witch suck, and now he's...
Mm-hmm.
So this is how they're going to tie it into GT.
Yep.
Yeah. Welcome to the Grand Tour.
Oh, no. Let's Voltron. So, yeah, I'm excited. I don't know if they'll do this arc. I don't know if they're going to do like a weird... Since, the anime and the manga are very different, even in the Tournament of Power, there's a lot of things that aren't in the anime that are in the manga, and vice versa. Right. Since the Tournament of Power happened first in the anime, which was strange. But like Roshi goes Ultra Instinct because it's not really a form; it's like a state of being.
I figured that. Yeah,
yeah, it's like the heightened, super equivalent to martial art. That's why all the gods of destruction are trying to learn it and things like that.
Wait, so Roshi can do it too? Of course,
Roshi can do like a diet Ultra Instinct version of it. Yeah, yeah. He basically does. You know how like Goku has his when he's in his black haired form, and then he has the white hair at the end. Mm-hmm. Roshi can essentially do like the black-haired form.
Got it.
So he can like the unmastered Ultra Instinct.
Got it.
He actually goes up against Jiren in the Tournament of Power in the manga and uses it. So
and okay,
that's how he survives.
Obviously that didn't work out for him because okay. And that's another one. Okay, so I'm interested in a sequel for the Broly movie if Jiren makes a way.
I don't care about Jiren.
Can you imagine if Broly
he's
and Jiren
so boring though?
Of course he's boring, but he's just
what's going to happen with Jiren and Broly? Jiren wins because Jiren is God. I mean, that's what he is essentially the most God of God, except for the little brat of a kid who's God.
Little brat of a kid.
Yeah, he just Xenos or whatever they are. Yeah, the twins.
Oh yeah, that's right, because there are two of them.
Yeah, there's two of them. But they like clap their hands together and it, like a universe erases from existence. So I hope if I don't know what I
My
hope.
problem is with Dragon Ball Z is there's like no gods for creating things.
Yeah.
They're all gods of destruction. I don't care what god you're talking about. I'm not talking about just Beerus. All they do is destroy. There's no, okay, I made life, haha.
Yeah.
No, life just seems to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that what Xenos is though? Like he just creates things and then.
I honestly don't know what Xenos is. I didn't
No?
watch that series.
Yeah.
I didn't actually start watching the show until the Tournament of Power. I would watch like the fights, but I didn't actually watch the show.
No, Zeno is the ultimate god of destruction.
Oh, is he?
Well, yeah, but then
He's the one who destroyed half the universe, half the realities of this place, just because he was bored.
didn't he
it's like-
put it back? I don't know.
No, he didn't. We had to wish them back with the Dragon Balls.
Oh yeah, with the penultimate dragon, the gold
Uh,
one, right? Yeah.
Android 17 won, and he wished him back.
Right.
Yeah. Because apparently that's something he can't do on his own. Because he's like, okay, well, I guess we'll just have to wait, and hopefully the right person wins the tournament, and they'll wish them back. Why is there... The only god of creation is the Dragon Balls.
Yeah. I don't know.
Where's the god that created life?
Shenron. It's Shenron.
It's Goku's favorite.
Maybe it was actually Shenron, and then someone sealed him away in the balls.
Ah, shit.
No, because that doesn't make any sense. Because
You don't make any sense. Shut up.
when the Dragon Balls were destroyed, they had to be recreated, and a whole new Shenron was created.
Yeah.
And if a Namekian can recreate the Dragon Balls, then how special are they?
I don't know.
They're the only ones who can make the. Well,
Don't ask questions. Just go with it.
Toriyama's
Namekians-
perfect.
And then, well, no, the Namekians are the only ones who create Dragon Balls, except for the original creator of the planet-sized Dragon Balls.
Man,
That was something other than a Namekian.
that was a super Namekian.
Oh, Lord. Slug. Get it? I did it funny. It wasn't funny. I'm sorry. I'll go home. I'm sorry.
I think that's where we could wrap it up now.
No, I just
Yeah, I
I
guess
don't remember the point I was trying to make. Honestly, my biggest wish out of Dragon Ball is just that Goku and Vegeta get their own things. I'm tired of like Goku getting it and then Vegeta catching up kind of thing. That's really all it is.
That's been the problem with Dragon Ball since Z. So yeah, since the very first Super Saiyan transformation, everybody else got irrelevant.
Yep, pretty much. So, yeah.
Well, everyone is still irrelevant, and that's not changing anytime soon.
No,
The only thing that
exactly.
changes is like maybe Vegeta gets something that Goku doesn't have, which they already have moves that the other don't.
But then they just like learned each other's moves anyway, because that's how Gogeta can do both of them. Like, I assume if they share the mind, they just get that knowledge too. So who knows?
Well, no, it just seems Goku's just able to steal other people's moves quite easily. Oh, you did it to me once? I know it. I'm just not going to use it
I
again.
felt it, so I know how to do it.
I may bring this up at a random point down the line.
I'm not going to
Never
use it
again.
now, but I have it in my back pocket. I'm going to wait until it's absolutely necessary to the plot.
This is a Super Saiyan.
Yeah. And then I'm just waiting for like this all to happen, and Vegeta walks up and goes Kaioken and just wipes everyone off the floor.
Yeah,
That game over. That's it. He just needed Kaioken. He doesn't need anything else. So
probably with a Kaioken. Jesus Christ.
yeah. Oh my god, that'd be amazing. That'd be so good. He doesn't need it though. He really doesn't. Could you
No.
imagine Broly with like the Super Saiyan God powers?
Were they Ultra Instinct? Just fucking Christ.
Broly's never gonna reach Ultra Instinct. He's got too many problems.
Yeah, he's never gonna be that chill.
He's never gonna be. You have to have a calm mind. Broly's like, what was that?
He goes green, which according to Super means he's like emotionally distressed. Well,
I'm
So-
gonna shove your ass up your ass. Rah.
Yeah. It's like a bug bites him and he just flips out and destroys a planet. So, yeah, let's end it there. We're just going off at this point. My name's Carl. You can follow me at Kaiju Karudu on most social medias except for Twitter, because Twitter's stupid. Actually, I do have a Twitter, but I just don't really look at it. But you send me messages, I'll answer it. And yeah.
I'm Robert. You can find me at Sick Mirror Tricks on most socials. Yeah.
I'm Josh. You can find me as Clay PhD on most everything.
And Ben is our fourth host here. He couldn't make it with us this week, but he'll be back next week, hopefully. And he is the author on just about everything, I think, that he has.
Yes.
The few things that he has. But he's the author on Discord if you pop in there and say hi. Our Discord is in a link below. Yeah, I don't know.
Subscribe.
Jump into the Discord.
Suggestions. Hit us up.
Yeah, if you someone sponsor us. Could someone sponsor us, please?
Pretty please.
Yeah,
please.
Pay us like $5. We'll say your name on the podcast. How about that?
Yeah, I'll say it in my dreams too.
Yeah. Oof.
That's a little too far for me.
Yeah, that's oof. I'm good. But I don't know.
That's
Maybe we'll do
$10
something like that. Like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll do something like that. Like, well, maybe we'll start trying to look into like Patreon this week or something.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Guys.
I don't know.
Hey, go.
Bye.